Hello and welcome with the second episode of the Knittinginden podcast. I am Ivonne, I'm 53 years old and I live in the Netherlands. I have a knitting podcast on here on YouTube in Dutch, and since 2 weeks I make an English version also for to reach more people all over the world. That's what I like. I like watching podcasts from other people from all over the world, mostly ladies, sometimes men. I'm a knit addict, like many of you, and so I am. So that's what I like to do, and that's why I share my knitting with you. In Holland, it is King's Day. Today is King's Day. It's when this podcast uploads on Thursday, 27 April. It's King's Day in Holland. So I thought normally I upload my videos on Thursdays, and I thought this week, oh my God, it's King's Day. I can't record a video on Thursday, so I thought I would do it a day before. So today's Wednesday, 26. Here in Holland, the festivities start also tonight, mostly at 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Is that what I think it is? There are all parties, for the younger people. You can go out, you can go to the city, you can get drunk, you can do everything. But what I like to do most is tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock. I want to wake up, because there is a vrijmarkt. We call it vrijmarkt in the Netherlands, and that means that you can stand everywhere with your car boot sale, or with your hoe zeg je dat? Rommelmarktspullen. Everything you don't want anymore in your house, you can sell on the flea market, on the vrijmarkt. So that's not what I'm going to do. I'm not going to sell something. That was what I did earlier, back in the days when my children were little. We always go to the flea market, or to the vrijmarkt, very early, mostly at 5 o'clock in the morning. And we spread our blankets on the floor. You have to be early, because otherwise there's no space, and we sell all the goods we don't want anymore. In the past, it was toys from the kids, things in your house you didn't like anymore. So my children always went with me. Sometimes they were very young, 3 years old, 2 years old. They always went with me on 5 o'clock, and we sat on the flea market, on the vrijmarkt in Hengelo, where I live. That's in the east of Holland. It's also nice to go to Amsterdam or bigger cities, or Utrecht. There is, I think in Utrecht and Amsterdam it starts at 6 tonight, Wednesday at 6, and it goes the whole night and day. You can stand on the flea market, on the vrijmarkt. So that's not what I'm going to do. I didn't do it in my whole life. I didn't went to Amsterdam or so. I see it on the television, but I always like to be here in Hengelo. So tomorrow we go at 7 o'clock in the morning. We struinen on the vrijmarkt, and we search for nice things. Tomorrow I will I always look for Cindy's. That's what I collect. But on this moment, I like to search like this mugs. It's a 70 mug, hand painted. A few years ago, I thought, oh, what an ugly mug. But on this moment in my life, I love it. I love the vintage, the brown, the size is. I don't drink my coffee from this mugs. I always drink water or something else. For coffee, I think it's too big. Maybe when you take a double coffee, it's okay. But for coffee, I have today this mug. It's blonde Amsterdam. It has a little cake in it because it's the king's birthday. But I already finished my coffee because otherwise it's getting cold. So that's what's happening in Holland. This little flag, I don't know where I bought it, but it's always nice to use for photos with my Cindy's, or if I have an Instagram, Cindy Instagram, that's Cindy underscore collector on Instagram. You can follow me there also as as a Cindy collector. There I show my little Cindy knits, and there I show my Cindy collection sometimes, Cindy walks. And the other Instagram account I have is knittinginden. That is my knitting account, and I share all my knitting there and here on YouTube also. So the first finished object I have is a Cindy garment. I saw this sweet sweater now a few weeks ago, and I thought, oh, I have to make that. And yesterday I bought the pattern, and I was knitting this very, very lovely Cindy garment. This is a pattern from Susie D Designs. She's on the Cindy Instagram also, and she's on Etsy. She sells the patterns on Etsy, and I think you can buy them on Amazon in a booklet, in a hardcover or a soft cover, and then you get more patterns in one booklet. But I bought the pattern just separate, and I knitted this in this yarn, Long Yarns, Capital Cities, Madrid. I love this colorway. This is, I think, the most nice colorway I've ever seen. This is an absolute favorite. I saw it before on the Handwerkbeurs. I didn't buy it there because I had so many things I bought already, but I couldn't forget it. And then I saw this Cindy pattern, and I think she used the same yarn. I don't know if the colorway is the same. So yesterday I thought I buy it, and I knit it, and I started at 5 in the afternoon, and it was ready at 11:30 in the night. It's a really easy pattern. I wouldn't have think of it myself to do it like this, but it was, you start with a cuff, then you make one, you knit, you make one, meerderen, increase or decrease. I don't know the difference. So you knit the yoke, then you knit to the down, then you make this nice little edge. I thought it called picot edge. I don't know for sure. And then you knit the sleeves. If you want the sleeves to be the same, you have to look in the wool where the same repeat is. But it was such a long repeat that I didn't do that. I chose to do another color combination. I don't mind, but in the pattern she advises to do the same. So this is a super nice little sweater. I love it. This Cindy is a very new one. It's from the Playline 2020, and I bought it in London. I've got 3 from these gorgeous girls because they were very special. I think this is the nicest Cindy in that line, so I had to buy more than one. This little garment I knitted also. So that's my first finished object, and I love it. It wouldn't be the last one because I love this little A-line A-line shape, and I knit it on 2mm needles. That was the first time for me. It's very tiny, but I love it, and that's what the pattern says. And you use sock yarn. You can use any sock yarn you like. So this won't be the last little Cindy garment. I love it. It's nice to knit little things because that's a nice to do beside your other projects. So that was my first finished object. The second finished object is my fiddly bits call. Oh, I think I shown it in the first English episode, so I don't tell too long about this. I used it on my bike, and it was a little bit too wide. So I'm thinking of maybe making it shorter, so it's more to my neck. But for now, I think it's nice enough, and I will let it this way. I put it off now because I have it hot. So yeah, the whip I am knitting on is the garter marler. I'm a little further than the last time I showed it to you. Even kijken. Yeah. It's a very quick knit. I didn't. Yeah, it's the first. The yoke is of course long rows, but it's only garter stitch, so it's very easy. And then you have to split for the sleeves, and that was a thing for me. I had to. I had too many stitches, so I did too many increases or decreases. I don't know, meerderingen, so that my stitch count didn't. Well, I had too many stitches, so I had to do it again, and now it's okay. I have a little bit on the one side. I have a few stitches too many, but I hope you don't see that in the finished garment. I think I need to do 15 centimeters to 20, including the cuff, and then it's long enough, and then I will knit the sleeves. It's a very lovely knit. It's very easy. I choose this color combination. There are some leftovers in it, like these. That's from this shawl. The colors are all in, even the white and the fuchsia. I don't know if you say it in English, cherries, fuchsia. So it's a really nice and quick knit, and I love to knit on it. So that's the garter marler from Stephen West. I'm a huge Stephen West fan, and that's what I told you in the first episode, English episode, about 2 weeks ago. You can see it. Here's my twist and turns. There is the Vertices Unite, and that's the crystal fragment shawl. So that won't be the last Stephen West patterns. I saw he has a super nice new one with the triangles. Oh, I love it. But when I'm going to make that, I don't decide it yet. Then I will do it in scrappy yarns. That's what I like the most. So that's my first whip. Then I have a whip. It's longer on my needles. That's this one. This is the pattern from Jude Harper. I don't know why I can't. Litmus call. Oh yeah, it's the litmus call. It kwam niet in me op. Couldn't remember the name. Litmus call. This I put on my needles, I think in January. This yarn is my advent calendar, and I stripe it with a dark purple that was also in the advent calendar from 2022. And this is not a quick knit for me. It's a slow project. When I feel it, I'm going to knit on it, and it's okay. I knit it on 2.5mm needles, and these are Chai Goose. So that's my second whip. I've got more whips, but these whips I worked on this week. So that's what I'm showing you. And this yarn is from the wool-based atelier at Wool-based here in the Netherlands. She's got beautiful yarns, hand-dyed yarns. So this is these are the single skeins from the Advent calendar from 2022. Really nice. So I hope this will be finished in about a year or so. No rush with this. It's in my it's in my lovely bag I got from a friend, Liane, from Steekjes and Zo. She made this. She makes these bags. It's a drawstring bag. I love the colors. I could choose one. She made a lot of this. And I have a little pouch with it, with her name on it. Steekjes and Zo. For your notions and so forth. And this is the yarn, the dark purple. That was with my Advent calendar. So that is whip number 2. Then I have a few socks on the needles. I love knitting socks. I learned to knit socks last year, January 2022. That was my goal. I want to knit one pair of socks, at least one pair. And it worked, and I think in 2022 I knit 14 pairs of socks, and the goal for this year is like 12 pairs every month, one pair. If you look on my Instagram, I posted yesterday the first 4 I knit this year. My Instagram is knittinginden, so I told you in the beginning of this video. This lives in a bag from Bertie and Poppet. She's from the UK. Jill, she makes beautiful bags. I really love it. This is my favorite bag. It's not too big, not too little. It's perfect for a sock yarn. This is the name of her, Bertie and Poppet. She sews very neat, very nice. Maybe I shown it last time. I don't know. I'm sorry for that if I do it again. This is my Crazy Sober Ball sock. The first one is ready. And the needle is in it. I love the colorway. It's a little bit dark, maybe a little bit manly, but I love them. I love them. It's a really nice yarn. I love to knit it. It's really soft. This is the ball. It's what's left of it. And I knit it on Knit Pro's 2.5mm needles. These are one of my favorites too. I always knit my socks on DPNs. And I used the Shadow Wrap shoulder heel from Denise from Earth Tones Girl. She has tutorials, very, very easy to follow, and that's where I learned this heel from. That's sock number 1. Then I have a new cast on, I think. A new cast on since the last episode. This is a sock yarn from also the wool-based. It's really nice colorway. I love this. I'm sorry I don't have the ball band. It's in the room, but it looks like this. And this is a basic sock, and it's knits very, very easy. It's very nice yarn, and these I knit on my Addi needles. I buy them in Germany. We live near the German border. I think it's 20 minutes, and I buy these Addi needles. They're €4 for 5 needles, 2.5mm. Also very nice needles. Also one of my favorites. Super nice. So that's the second sock on my needles. I have 5 socks on the needles, but I'm going to show you 3. Then we have another pair. This is yarn from a friend of mine in Holland. She dyed it herself. I think it's a very nice choosing of colors. I love colors. Normally, in normal life, I always wear black, so you can see maybe. But in knitting, I don't like knitting in one color. Maybe I said it before. So I love all the little colors. Oh, it's going from my needles. It's also always happening. Ja, hoe gaan we dat nou doen? Even oppakken hoor. Ja, nee, zo gelukt. Ja, it worked. These are, so this is how it knits up. I think I have 2 sticks. Oh, to help me. Even pauze. So I'm back. Pick up the stitches later when I knit on it again. So this is a really nice colorway. I knit these on, I think this is also 2.5mm needle. I don't know where it's from. It's from the thrift stores. Sometimes I find these needles in thrift stores for 20 cents or so. So that's these ones are on that needles, and it's a thinner thread than the others. Thinner yarn, sorry, than the other one, but it's really knitting nice. So that's my 3rd sock on the needles. There's another sock I didn't think of. It was also a new cast on. It is in my bag I bought in London at Beautiful Knitters. I don't know the name anymore, but it's I think French. It has a nice leather band and then nice lining. And here are my London pins. And I went to Loop London, and that's where I bought these 2. This is from Canada. My family lives in Canada. My mother always went there on, we went there also on holiday. So this is from the Indians. I love this one. And this is a German one, the Mainzelmännchen. It's also what I really like. It's that German. And this is my first pin I ever bought. And it's a smiley. Yeah, and I'm a fan of London, as you maybe noticed in my first video. London bus, oh, I love it. So this is my nice bag, and I got a ball of yarn from a friend, Liane, and we went to a cafe, and I didn't brought my knitting, so she says, oh no, you can loan needles from me. So when I was home, I bought these needles on the handwerkbeurs van Lieke, and these are 15 centimeters. I don't like 15 centimeters. Normally I knit on 20 centimeter DPNs, but they didn't have them anymore. So I bought the 15 centimeter, but it is a really nice wooden needle. It knits very good, and it's not slipping off the needles so fast. That's I think it's in advance, of hoe zeg je dat? It's a voordeel. So this is one I have also on the needles, but it's the leg is too long. I was sitting on the telephone with a friend, and I didn't make the leg too long. Normally I do 14 centimeters, and this is also already 20. Maybe I'll leave it like this and make longer socks than I normally do. So this is sock number 4. That's very, I love knitting socks. It's it's not a big project. You can always take it with you on the bike, or in a cafe, or when I go to my dad. I always go on Tuesdays to my dad, and we drink coffee and we talk, and I help a little bit with things we have to do, and I always knit for an hour when I'm there. So that's super nice with socks. I tend to make 12 pairs of socks this year. So yeah, that's what I'm what I like to do. And when I finished the Crazy Cyber Ball socks, I will start these. I love these colorways, so I can't wait to cast these on. Long Yarns Madrid, the capital city. So that's what I want to do when one pair is finished. I think 3 pairs of socks on the needles is sort of the limit, but I have 5 now, so doesn't matter. No one's judging. I'm judging no one. No one's judging. We do what we feel. It's a knitting podcast, and yeah. Then I'm still knitting on my Coziest Memories blanket. I don't show it because I think I showed it last time. It's in a really nice bag from Delacue. These are 2 bags, a little one and this one, bigger one, and they cost 20 euros here in Holland. Some sites is 30 euros, but I bought it for 20 euros, and I love this red colorway, and my blanket still fits in. It's a little bit tight, but it still fits in. I knit every day 1 square, at least 1, sometimes 3, sometimes 2, but every day 1. I never skip a day, because I want to have it done, I think, in September. When I knit every day 1 square, I will finish it in August, and then I have to do the I-cord bind off. So that's my first Coziest Memories blanket. I love it. It's one of my favorite projects to work on. Every day, every square is surprisingly how it will look when it's ready. So that's what I'm also knitting on. And I have the same Coziest Memories blanket, but then with a fingering weight yarn held double. I started this on New Year's Eve. With this I started here, and I do the same amount of stitches, 20, and then with held double, the yarn held double. So this is or DK. This is a DK. I knit socks from this, from Opal. So that's what I do, or double, yarn held double, or DK. So this is my second. I don't knit on this every day, mostly once a week, but it's a really nice. And I knit these on 5mm needles. What I do, that's maybe a tip for other people too. I do 2 different needles. One is 5 and the other is 4.5, because I didn't have a 5 in red. And I always take my stitches, pick up a knit with a red, and that's the side I have to do the, waarom weet ik dat nou weer niet? The decrease, or I think the decrease. So I always know, oh, it's the red one, so I have to do the decrease. If it's this one, I can knit back. So that's a little tip from me to you. So that's my other project. That's what I'm working on actively on this moment. I had some acquisitions from things I get from friends, from knitting friends. The first one is a swap. I swapped with a lady from Belgium, and she sent me these 15 balls of beautiful yarn. I knit already 3 squares with this, and it's super nice. My package for her is on the way. I think she will receive it today or tomorrow, because in Belgium it's not King's Day tomorrow. Here in Holland it is. I think the postman will not work tomorrow here in Holland. So that's my first, like a swap. That was a swap. Then I had a little acquisition, and there was we have on Instagram in Holland a site, an Instagram called Ons Garenschuurtje, and there you can offer your stash yarn and other people can buy it. So I bought a stash from somebody else. It's all sock yarn, and these are very nice. It was a very this is almost 100 grams. It was more than I thought it was, so it's nice for my scrappy projects and for other swaps and so forth. So this is what I bought. And a friend of mine whom I know through this channel, she bought a lot in that in that group, and she sent me from all her balls, she sent me 10 grams. I don't know how many balls these are, but it's really a lot, and I love it. This little basket I bought at the kringloopwinkel, thrift stores. That's what I like to do. Once a week I'm in the kringloopwinkels, and I found this little basket so I can put all the balls in. But my little cat is very very naughty, and she's always, when she don't get my attention, she picks a ball and goes away with it. So I have to, maybe I put this also in a plastic bag. That's more safe for my little yarn balls. So that's what I got. And I had this one also. I bought myself a purple skein. That was also in ons little garenschuurtje. It's like a yarn barn on Instagram. We can sell and buy things from each other. It's a really nice initiative. So this is what I bought also. Now, and that is that is what I have to say this week in my English podcast. Normally I would record on Thursdays. I told you in the beginning of this video. Now it's Wednesday, and so I thought tomorrow's King's Day. I have to walk on the Vrijmarkt, and I'm going to upload this video tomorrow, 27th of April. I think it will be live on in the evening. So that's what I had to tell you this week, and I will thank you for watching. If you just see me for the first time, I have also the Dutch podcast, but for the English people I have the English version. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and leave a message for me. I like to read the comments. I will always reply on it. I love it, and it makes me happy. So thank you for that. Again, knittinginden on Instagram, and Ravelry knittinginden here on YouTube. So I will say have a nice day, night, whenever you watch this video. I'm going to King's Day tomorrow. Today, eigenlijk, when you see this video, it's already past. And the nicest thing to do on King's Day is to go to the Vrijmarkt. So happy knitting, happy thrifting, and see you next time. Even een lekkere pauze bij de, maar er staat helemaal geen leuk dingetje meer op. Nee. Doorheen dat ding, daar ging van groot in. Ik Ja, ik vind kermis niks aan. Dus mijn vriendin liep even over deze kermis. Maar ik zeg sorry hoor, ik ga niet mee. Ik ga wel even aan de zijkant staan. Nou, inmiddels is het 10:30. Het is nu heel druk. Heel leuk, heel druk. Ik begin een beetje moe te worden. Dus ik denk dat ik rond 1:12 al naar huis ga. Want op het terras zitten heb ik geen behoefte meer aan. Maar wel heel gezellig. In Hengelo.